we understand how that could be a challenge
Yeah.
In some families. But for whatever reason...
It worked. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're just all laid back, so it works for us.
Yeah.
My name is Ada. My name's Jax.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Jet. I'm Adeline.
And this is our tiny, shiny home.
This video is sponsored by Dylan Magaster. Check out our new channel by clicking the link and be sure to subscribe.
In 2015, we decided to start traveling full-time with our kids. Bought a huge fifth wheel,
37 foot.
37 feet, and we were traveling all over the country for about a year. And then we had this sort of experience. We camped off-grid or boondocked out on the edge of a cliff near Zion National Park, and it was just magical. We just really fell in love with the whole camping off-grid thing. It was something we couldn't really do with the rig that we had, and so we started looking at alternatives. We'd always loved Airstreams, but they didn't really make one for a family of 6. So we bought a really old one, 1972, and we completely gutted it and we renovated it exactly for our family.
Anytime you take apart a 46-year-old trailer, you're gonna have issues. It's the leaks, it's the cracked frame, it's the missing pieces.
Not only that, but like designing the whole inside from scratch
To work for 6 people.
And it was 6 months. 6 days a week, almost tanked my business, and like it was crazy.
It was stressful.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
Everybody's got their own space. And we've got all the solar panels and the composting toilet. We got a lift on the Airstream so we don't bottom out when we go down crazy roads. And we've been living in the Airstream for almost 2.5 years now. So this is our 1972 Airstream Sovereign land yacht. It's older than I am, 46 plus years old, but we spent 6 months at my wife's family's house and we totally gutted this thing. We renovated it top to bottom. We spent a lot of time resealing everything. When your trailer is 46 plus years old, things are gonna leak. And so we ended up having to replace a lot of these rivets. We tested each one by hand. That probably took the most time out of anything. Cosmetically, other than polishing, the only thing we really did on the outside is we just kind of monochromed everything. So there was a lot of like red, white, and blue on these kind of plaques. And so we just stripped all the color off and we liked the way that it turned out. We're really happy that we got to keep these aluminum propane tanks because they're awesome. These are pretty hard to find, but we got them recertified. We did have to put a new jack on because the old one just gave out. We also did install a ground deploy connection for an external solar panel. You can see it's plugged in right now, even though there's not sun. We knew we would probably need more power at some point, so we're glad that when we needed to, it was already there. We did a lot of patches and stuff like this where old antennas were. Just had to learn how to cut the aluminum, and drill it and re-rivet. One thing that we noticed that happened quite often is that we would bottom out going down crazy roads. We went ahead and put new axles and we put 16-inch Michelin truck tires on it, and then we added an additional 3-inch lift to it. It's really allowed us to go a lot of places that we wouldn't have been able to take the trailer before. Up top we have 500 watts of Renogy solar panels, all new fantastic vents, brand new air conditioner, and we also have internet antennas. So we've got omnidirectional and directional antennas that let us be able to work from the road even when we're out in the middle of nowhere. We were pretty fortunate that the freshwater tank was in great shape, so we actually have the original freshwater tank in there. We took it out, we tested it, and it was still good. We did break the black tank. We don't need a black tank because we have a composting toilet, so we converted it to a gray tank and added an additional tank in the frame and joined them together. So now we have 40 gallons. Believe it or not, this model did not have a gray tank at all. All the gray water just straight out. This is our sticker door. So these are just some of the places we've been. We've actually run out of room here and we've had to start putting stickers and magnets inside too. But this is sort of like our first 1.5 years of traveling, all the different places we went. So this is our garage. We've got a generator in here, easy access stuff, a lot of internal components to the Airstream that might go bad, like replacement parts. What we use the most is water jugs. So we have 2 5-gallon jugs with pour spouts where we can just pour straight into the fresh tank. And then we also have this as a collapsible water bladder. And so we'll fill that up and then use this little drill pump. You attach like a cordless drill to it and you pump the water from the bladder straight into the fresh tank. And so that's how we're able to stay places for weeks at a time, is we can go and get fresh water and bring it in. And with the solar and everything combined, we don't have to go back into town for anything. The name of the game here is multi-use space. So this is our kitchen table. It's where we eat, it's where we work, but this also converts into a bed at night for Ashley and I. So this table is on a hydraulic pedestal. It's actually larger than a queen size bed. It's really big. The cushion's rearranged, the table goes down. When we did all of the electrical, we ran it all up here so we would have easy access to it. We have a 2,000 watt inverter. We've got a battery management system, 400 amp hours of lithium batteries, our converter, and also 2 solar charge controllers. 1 solar charge controller for all the panels on the roof, and then a 2nd solar charge controller for our ground deployed. We added all these cabinets. We keep a lot of homeschool materials up here. And then we just added this shelf here so we can put little pieces that we've gotten on our travels, kind of makes it feel like home. I've had my own web design business for about 14 years. And so I already had a standing desk at the house, so I just wanted to transfer that basic setup here. We just got a tripod, built a little table with a mount here. You can actually either put the laptop here itself and just work here, or you can put your keyboard and your mouse here wirelessly and just raise it up. This monitor is on a pivoting arm, and so it can actually pull out and it can go up. Back here behind the monitor, we have our internet setup. It's pretty complicated and nerdy, but I'll give you the quick rundown. Basically, we've got a booster, we've got antennas on the roof, increases the 4G signal to come down to this antenna right here. Then we've got 2 hotspots, plans from Verizon and AT&T. Just whichever one's faster, we'll run out of that into a router, and then we all connect to the router. And then across here, we've got our standard RV stove oven that we use all the time. A really deep sink, and we have 6 people, so we have lots of dishes that we're doing. This is a marine fridge. I think it's 7.5 cubic feet. We can fit about 5 to 7 days of groceries in here. Food storage up here. Got a lot of these shallow containers to kind of group things together. And of course, we've been collecting magnets of all the different places that we've been going. This is our TV antenna, but we've also attached a directional internet antenna to the top of that, so we can actually direct it at the cell phone tower. Back in here, we have a custom built area to hold all of our plates and our utensils, our straws. We have a Berkey water filter, and so this, you can basically dump creek water in this thing and it'll come out. I know it looks like a hula skirt, but this is actually a macrame system that keeps it attached here so that we can drive with it being up here on the countertop so it doesn't fall. Okay, so this is the kids' space, but I know you're asking, and yes, we do have some privacy. So we have a little curtain that goes up. We wanted to make sure that each kid had their own space, right? So they each have their own bunk bed. They've got their own wall where they can put up art, they can hang stuff. Each bed also has its own reading light. You can turn the reading light off and on here. They've got their own 110 plug and their own 12 volt plug, so they can charge whatever device that they need to. We also made these top bunks so that they can actually fold down. So they're actually made out of 2 pieces. So the top is actually mounted into the Airstream ribs and then into the sidewalls. See, it just folds down and you have a nice couch. There's 3 cabinets on each side and they all fold up. In our bathroom, we have this massive cabinet, and this is where all of our clothes are. We love these e-bag packing cubes because it keeps everything very compact, but also very organized. And at the bottom, this mainly just hides the hot water heater. This is where the 30 amp comes in, where we have the transfer switch. Then over here in the corner, we have our measuring ruler that we actually had in our original house where we're tracking, you know, how the kids grow over the years. This is the only space that it would fit, and we're so glad we were able to make that work. So over here we have our sink and our Nature's Head composting toilet. We love the composting toilet because it means we don't have to have a black tank, which means we can stay off grid for much longer periods of time. Hamper back here that we've got attached to the wall that we can just chuck back in there, and then when we're ready to go to the laundry, we'll just pull it out and take it. Pretty standard RV shower. We decided not to reinvent the wheel there, but we did add this cool shower curtain that moves and gives you more room when you're actually in it, and then when you're not using it, you can move it back out of the way. I think I've found sort of an adventurous part of myself that I didn't know was there. Like being in a house all the time, you don't get to go out to all these amazing places. There wasn't really time to go explore and kind of get out of the house and like do things. And so I've realized how much I enjoy that, being able to do that, especially with you guys.
Especially the cool places where we get to hike, the fun hikes.
The hard ones.
Yes.
Yes.
The dangerous ones.
The dangerous ones. Yes.
I like those kind.
Once they start going to school and once they get involved with so many other activities and friends and stuff, like it's crazy how quick it goes. And so we just really wanted to latch onto that and like have that time with them while they're still young.
And why they still like us.
And while they still like us, yeah. We see a lot of people that like just jump into it without any sort of income. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that living on the road isn't inherently a lot cheaper, especially with maintenance and stuff like that. Don't let that stop you, but at the same time, like be smart about it and like either have a chunk of money saved up or already have that transition in place for what your next type of income will be.
Thank you for watching this week's episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you really love what we create here at FLORB, we're working hard to bring you more, better, higher quality content. And so if you would like to support us, consider clicking the link in the description and joining the community on Patreon, and you can support the channel through that. So if you love what we do, consider checking out our Patreon page, and thank you for watching. Have a great week. Big love. Peace out.